and needs only the beat to set us free. The beat to free us. It is morning, a Sunday, a field without shade, but dark with the people black of us in various
greetings, welcome, come on in. I won't be long, come on in, welcome, greetings.
Without elegance. We are centuries later now, and still this sacred ground calls us.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Greetings, another edition of Revolutionary Hoodoo, New Orleans Voodoo Secrets and Recipes. Come on in, I won't be with you long, so come on in, the fire is hot, the water is a-boiling. Come on in, it's time to put something into the pot. Come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in. Greetings, divine all blessed. Come on in, welcome. Hoodoo, revolutionary Voodoo Secrets and Recipes. Come on in. Welcome. Greetings, Tasha. Greetings, Neophyte Gokur. Greetings, beloved Ladybug L. Welcome, Chef Bougie. Welcome, Seven the General. Kiona D. Carter. Welcome. Greetings. Come on in. I won't be with you long, but I got a lot to say. Come on in. Spirit's got me working. Woo. Come on in. Greetings, Jay White. Greetings, beloved. Slay you as well. Come on in. Greetings. Come on in. Come on in, Title 7. Come on in. Welcome. Greetings. Come on in. All is a blessing. Giving thanks and honor. Come on in. She's calling your name through the wind. Come back home to Africa. The fatty calf and golden rain are waiting for you once again. Coming back to you. Come on in. I'm longing for my family. Come on in. Welcome. Greetings. All is a blessing in this squared circle of gods and goddesses. Come on in, ancestors. Come on in. Meet us and greet us. Come on in. All is a blessing. Aboru aboye, aboshishe. Come on in. Welcome. Thank you so much for being present. I got a lot to say. It's going to be fast, hot, quick. So come on in. Hola, ¿cómo está ustedes? Hola. Benedicciones. Come on in. My community, come on in. My people, come on in. Voodoo, come on in. E5, come on in. Lukumi, come on in. Paulo, come on in. Root work and conjure, come on in. Voodoo, come on in. Bones, come on in. All is a blessing. Greetings. Hey, Bobo, come on in. Haiti, come on in. Nigeria, come on in. Greetings, Ghana, come on in. All is a blessing. I'm talking to you today, Oshoko. Come on in. Waking up the sacred grove. Come on in. Come on in.
Come back home to
845-277-9143. 845-277-9143. Spirit is on me today. I can't hardly control myself. I know what I want to say, but I know what Spirit would have me to say. So before I lose control of this train, divine, all blessed greetings and salutation, peace and love, elevation, revelations, manifestation. We are now sitting live with the Divine Prince, and always in archive at your leisure and convenience here on a multitude of platforms: Blog Talk Radio, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc. And I don't want to waste a whole lot of time with that. I've got just about an hour, a little under an hour, to be with you today. Whew. I haven't experienced this in a long time. And many of you who are my regular listeners, my regular participants, of whom I'm indeed grateful for whom I'm indeed truly honored for, because it is for you that I come forward every day. It is indeed for you that I bring forward that which Spirit would have me to bring and to acknowledge with you each and every day. It is indeed on the shoulders of mighty ancestors that we stand in this present moment in time space, but in all moments in time space. It is in our blood. It is in our DNA. It is at the very root and being of who and what we are. And so we acknowledge in Voodoo, we acknowledge in ATR, we acknowledge in West African and African traditional religious systems and indigenous world systems, we acknowledge those who came before. There's never room to disrespect the ancestors. There's never room to be on the timeout chair with the ancestors. There's some things the Voodoo man can't protect you from. It's some things the Bokur man can't protect you from. Eshu alegwana ko si weri awo onlo uto ni iwo ara afam bo osi obatala ni ita ni ibo ni ilio aban eshu. Eshu is the respected elder who flogs, confronts, and uncovers fools. The one versed in mysteries uses truth to own you. He calls a scatter to feed poverty. Obatala shakes rascals to have sacrificed. The owner of warnings is the one who is Eshu. Aboru, Aboye, Aboshishe, Ashe. May I ever reach a rune. May I ever be accepted. May I ever allow what we desire to come to pass. And so we say Ashe, oh Ashe. There's some things that I would just rather stay in my lane. There's some things that I would rather just teach and share and present in the confines of my nice little Labor Day Virgo schedule and design of approaching things. But sometimes Spirit takes over. Sometimes Spirit has its way. Sometimes Spirit has to be acknowledged. And so I cannot protect you from this, beloved. I can't shut this down for you, beloved. In all things, there's a place of going too far. In all things, there's a place of going across the line. In all things, there's a place where there's too far to go and be pulled back. I can't pull you back from this. I can't pull you back from this. When we think of those powers, those forces that indeed create and shape our reality, when we think of what we call Orisha and Loa and Voodoo and Abassan and all the various languages that we speak in the diaspora, what is universal is the acknowledgement of Spirit. That's universal. And it's some things you can't be pulled back from. It takes me in mind to the story of Job, whose wife said, curse God and die. You can indeed curse yourself. You can indeed play around with Loa, play around with Orisha, play around and spirit, and beg them to show themselves and beg them to manifest you, and they will manifest for you, within you, and around you. And it might not be exactly what you're looking for, beloved. Some things you just keep quiet on. Some things you just don't say. And in the spirit of moving beyond racism and white supremacy, for my regular listeners, you've heard this before. We have to dissect every element of infrastructure that holds that system up. And at the core of that is religion. At the core of that is religion. If I don't have the freedom, the space, the liberty to acknowledge my God and the gods of my ancestors, then we're still operating under the realms of white supremacy. Then we're still operating under the realms of race and racism. And I've asked this question over the course of the last 90 days. How do we move forward? It's real easy to blame the politician, the police, the mayors, these beautiful Black female mayors that have been on our screens for the last 48 hours. It's real easy to point a finger at the police heads and the police chiefs. Who do we point the finger at in addressing the problem, which is racism and white supremacy? And as long as I can't acknowledge my God, as long as I can't acknowledge the gods of my ancestors without the anticipation of white supremacist disrespect, because we're talking about white supremacist disrespect. Because see, indeed, it was you and your colonists who came into the motherland and decided that I was a heathen, and decided that I needed to be saved, and decided that the gods of my ancestors weren't good enough. And so under the threat of the whip, under the threat of the machete, under the threat of the musket, we were forced to embrace your religion. We were forced to embrace his religion. But what about the gods and the goddesses of our ancestors? What about indeed the consciousness of our ancestors, which is standing up in our veins right now in this divine moment in time space? You can't acknowledge racism and civil rights and then in the same token ignore those who laid the foundation and ignore those who came before. And before you get to the position that you think it's okay to mock Orisha, to mock Loa, I'm here to tell you, I can't touch you. I can't help you. I can't save you. Oshun priests have already come to me. Oshun priestess have already pulled my collar. I can't even read for you, beloved. There's nothing I can do to protect you from what you're asking for. See, you're asking for a demonstration. I like demonstration. I specialize in result-oriented demonstration. I like demonstration, but there's some things prayer can't protect you from. There's some things a sweet bath won't help you with, beloved. And when we start disrespecting and calling out and disregarding the ancestors and the Orisha and the Loa, I'm looking at both of you. The one who first bastardized the Orisha. And you all know I've been complaining about, preaching about, re-educating about this appropriation and bastardization of our powers and our spirits for well over a decade. For well over a documented decade. Okay, but now through your demonstration, fake Oshun priestess, You now have us being bastardized worldwide, globally, internationally, to a level of degradation that I've never seen before in public media, might I add. You don't go after Jesus, you don't go after Allah, you don't go after Jehovah, you don't go after nobody's God except the black God. Why is that, white supremacist? Why is that? I'm talking to you, chocolate boo-boo. I'm talking to you. That's racist. That's white supremacist. And it's not Christian. Let's be clear about that. It's not Christian. That demonstration wasn't Christian at all. Okay? That was just an opportunity to go for your own jugular. That was an opportunity to cut your nose in spite of your face. That was an opportunity for you to beg spirit to show you and to demonstrate a manifestation that I, the great king and leader of Voodoo, ain't gonna be able to pull you back from. I had a I had a dream. I had a dream. And it was a terrible, violent, ugly dream as a result of your own words. And Oshun won't let me pull it back. Oshun wouldn't let me light a candle. Oshun wouldn't let me pour a drop of water. Oshun dried up, baby, and left the barren land. And left the barren land. I can't pull you back from that. I can't help you with that. Okay? Watch your mouth. It's some things you can't say. It's some things you can't do. I don't care how mighty you think you might be. I don't care how high the clouds might be right now. You chose the most difficult power to pull somebody back from. I've said it on this show many a times. Y'all got your little Orisha romance going on, your little love affair with Oshun, who you've never met, who you've never known, who you don't even know by her appropriate names, but you got your little love affair with her. One of the most difficult Orisha to placate, one of the most difficult Orisha to feed. She who controls the very life-giving waters that keep us together. She that controls the very life-giving fluids which cleanse and purify and maintain our health in our body. Oh, wow. Praise to the mother of mystery, the one who has a comb made of coral beads. That beautiful lady. Oshun, the very knowledgeable one, spirit that cleanses inside and out. My mother with hands colored by dye. My mother with feet beautiful as camwood. My mother who is always found neat and clean and proper and appropriate and ladylike. My mother, the owner of super healing decoction, ever ready to hear, ever ready to heal, ever ready to listen, ever ready to purify, the one capable of delivering her children. She who cares for one concerning children. Graceful mother full of wisdom, who adorns her sons with bronze, who stays a long time in the bottom of the waters generating wealth, who retires to the rivers to take care of her children, who does not mind wearing brass bracelets, who knows the secrets of the cults but does not reveal them. She who grazes sand and buries money in it. Powerful woman who cannot be attacked. Strong woman, more fierce than men. Flowing water without cessation. Great mother, Protect us all, great mother Oshun, great mother Oshun. Who would attempt to disrespect Oshun? Who would? Really? Really? On whose watch? On whose watch? Everybody claiming E5. On whose watch? On whose watch would we allow Oshun to be bastardized? Seriously? Seriously? Ooh, I told you I wouldn't be with y'all long, because if I stay here too long, I'm going to say all sorts of crazy and incredible things. And I understand that we get caught up in our feelings sometimes, and we get caught up in our emotions sometimes. And sometimes you say things that you might not mean, or you say things that you might not intend. But who bastardized somebody's God? Who bastardized somebody's ancient tradition older than your book, older than your church, older than your Christianity, older than your consciousness of history, older than, whew, older than you might even live to make sense of. Are you with me, beloved? I see you on my phone lines. Let me check my phone lines. Area code 323. I love y'all. Greetings. We love you too, beloved.
Woo! It knocked the air out of my chest when she stood flat-footed in her right mind, but in emotion said, F you, no, she's the FSU, and all the devils that you serve. And I'm telling you, I grabbed my chest. I said, she don't know what she just did. She's talking about that she's coming out here to LA and she ain't coming out here for nothing. I said, she just canceled all that. She just canceled Christmas. She just canceled her life. I said, oh, you didn't cut your balls off for a reason, because you need them. Because you got big ones to say that. Out of all the ones, that one? Don't let people fool you. And she's talking about, oh, she's a goddess of fertility. She is not to be played with. None of them are. But you got to be careful with that one. Because the moment she start laughing, that's your ass. You going to fix your mouth. Excuse me, mama, if you're listening. I'm sorry for saying that. But you going to fix your mouth and say that? She said, F. And then said that I grabbed my chest. I said, she don't know. But she going to find out today.
I immediately started chanting on Ricky Oshun. I immediately started chanting on Ricky. Immediately. Oshun, commonly called the river Orisha, or the goddess. In the Yoruba religion, it is typically associated with water, purity, fertility, love, sensuality. She's considered one of the most powerful of all Orisha. And like other gods, she possesses human attributes such as vanity, jealousy, and spite, and revenge. Several myths exist concerning Oshun and her significance as a Yoruba deity. And let's be clear, I've talked before about what we call 7 African powers, and these great powers that leapt from not just Yoruba culture, but also Ewe, Fan, Akan. And though we speak different linguistic coded languages to address those powers, those spirits, this is one of those powers, one of those forces that made its way with us by way of the Middle Passage into the New World. Indeed, it helped us to separate from that salty, raging ocean water that was a constant reminder, so much a constant reminder. Some of you all don't swim today. Some of you all don't get in the water today. Some of you still have aversions to seawater and don't understand its ancient connection back to your ancestors and enslavement. So when sweet water comes through to purify, to cleanse, to sweeten up, lighten up things, how dare we diss her? I can't even find the right words to describe what
This
that
is
was.
what I don't understand. You are putting your life in jeopardy when you are not accepted by society, by the color of your skin, whether it's light, dark, medium, or blacker than blue, whether you're fat, whether you live in same choose to have same sex relationships, and most importantly, when you want to change your avatar and show up in the world other than what you were born in, because you say and you feel and know your heart of heart says you need the wrong avatar. How can you judge someone else? When you want to get with someone, get with that person because that person offended you. Do what you got to do to that person. But that person is sitting there. First of all, I don't even think that her Weekdays and all her people, stuff she wears is even activated. So for her to sit there and say that she represents Oshun, talking about the enemy now, you have to question that. So don't attack our way of life and our culture based off of the person that you got the problem with.
Right. Right. Should I judge every Christian? Should I judge every Christian based on my dad? Should we judge every Christian based on the worst examples that we have in the media? Do we judge every minister based on a long? I mean, come on, who does that? And now you're inviting dark energy. Oh my God. Because there's too many Oshun followers out there. She can
go outside and lose her life. She can go outside. You know how many people target homosexuals that look like women and target them and take their life every day? Every single day. So how can you a whole mob of people, just post a video of a whole mob of people attacking the transgender, and then you sit there and judge somebody else's culture that you low-key want to be part of? I'm not with it. I'm not with it. I'm not with it. I won't be with it. I can't accept it.
And I know she here. I know she here, and I know she can see. So let's be clear. I ain't told none of your business. None. Still, I still haven't taken a side. Still, I came attacking how we address Oshun, how we address the Orisha, how we address the ancestors, which is a lane that I come in every day. So get in your feelings, but this personal. For all those who acknowledge and honor and worship and are initiated into Oshun, this personal. And all you black witches out there, the ones I've been trying to realm in, where y'all at? Where y'all at now?
She made it personal.
That's ugly. That's just ugly.
Yeah.
That's just ugly.
You can't do that. That's the one thing. And then this is the law that is hardest for you to invite in ceremony. The hardest. They can quit all this painting these pictures that spirit of Luau is just like Jesus, and they even do that with demons. I'm as a demon. When?
Not in African tradition. Not in Voodoo.
You can't tell them spirits what to do. You can barely help yourself. You can barely tell you what to do.
And all this conjuring of Orisha and Loa to meet these carnal, material, physical requests, that's demonology and witchcraft. That ain't got nothing to really do with Orisha at all. So yeah, I feel some kind of way about everybody involved. The one who would appropriate and misrepresent and bastardize our traditions once again, and then those who would quickly recapture the white racist, white supremacist platform as it relates to how you look at world religion. There was once upon a time all religions.
So why would you do that when people don't accept you? People do not accept you for wanting to change your very avatar, and you got one foot in and one foot out. People don't accept you, and then you're gonna speak against us. You can go on a date and a very person smile in your face and cut your throat.
Well, she didn't speak against me.
Day.
Yeah, you taking
you have the nerve to be judgmental against somebody.
Yeah, you taking it real personal, and I'm just standing up for Oshun. Somebody have to. I'm standing up for the traditions. Somebody has to. Who's speaking up for Ifa right now? On either side of the ocean. Who's representing for it right now? You all are too consumed at your own stuff. You all are too consumed in your own communities. White supremacy, racism, separation, prejudice, bigots. Listen, I am so open right now to change more than ever before. And I would hope for, pray for, wish for real change right now at the cultural level, at the governmental level, at the judicial level, in our police departments, in our school systems. But that's going to be the only way to address racism and white supremacy. We can't just point a finger at the police. We can't just point a finger at the president. It's a whole lot of people holding up that scaffolding of racism and white supremacy. And you religious folk is at the center of it, is at the center of holding it up. And every time you regurgitate that vomit, every time you repeat those God spells that were created to capture us and enslave us for a lifetime. And we's free. If you didn't get the notice, we's free. And it don't take Juneteenth to mark it either. We's free today, if you don't already know. And those of us who indeed are clearing the head, clearing the spirit, regrouping and regrounding ourselves in that which our ancestors held on to, we free. We free. Those horses are already out the gate. There's no recapturing that. What you're seeing now is an outward expression of years of effort, years of tears, years of blood, years of sweat, years of activists and pro-activist efforts to change the dynamics of the very world that we live in. I just operate in my own lane. My lane, spirituality and religion. My lane is ATR. My lane is Pan-African spiritualism. So that make Oshun my lane.
Well, you're not going to be able to help her in this situation. I'm going to tell you that now.
That make the Achaba my lane.
There's nothing you can do.
And she's a fierce witch. I can't. Listen, I've had elders call me and say, oh, no, you don't. I've had Oshun priestess call me and say, oh, no, you don't. Don't you lift nary finger. I can't. I can't. I can't. And we all have enough problems, enough issues, as Kiona, in her own way, so eloquently worded, gender, identity, class, status, race, economic, so many other things that we have to battle each and every day. The last thing we need is somebody who's supposed to represent us, supposed to represent our community, supposed to represent the diversity that exists and lives and thrives within our community, to then try and come for us, which is really coming for yourself. You came for yourself. You didn't come for.
We're not going to call any names, guys. The people in the chat, they're confused. They don't know. We're not going to call names, but there was a battle, and there is someone who represents. Well, she says that she is the daughter of Oshun, and so there was a major dispute, and so it kept going on and on and on, and so the person that was being targeted, the person who kept being called to the carpet, the person who kept being bullied, got frustrated, and she spoke her mind, and she was just fed up. She was fed up within her right to be fed up. Even the magical book says that it's okay to be angry, but sin not. So what she did was she got mad and she went to attack the girl, but instead of attacking the person, she said, "F you, F Oshun, and all the devils that you worship," right? And that's where she went wrong. There's power in the tongue. Everything we say is recorded. Everything we do is an act of worship. Whatever path you're called to, whatever path that you choose, you have to be accountable and responsible for what you do. You can't just say anything and do anything and not be held responsible.
The Orisha practitioner can't demonize the Hindu practitioner any more than they can demonize the Buddhist practitioner, any more than we can demonize the Sufi practitioner, any more than we can demonize the Christian or the Islamic or the Catholic or the Protestant practitioner. There is a line you just don't cross. And let me be clear, I reached out. I made an effort to communicate. So far I ain't heard back, but it's hard to even come at this, Keon. It is, because you and I know who we're talking about. A great deal of the chat don't know who we're talking about, but you can be damn sure that camp knows what we're talking about. Okay, so hear me clearly. This ain't about me. This is about ATR, African-based traditional systems, which is one of the last and only places of refuge and salvation for people like you and me. Voodoo. I wasn't safe in the mosque. I wasn't safe in the church. I wasn't safe in the synagogue. Okay, I wasn't safe at the Nyabengi, on a Saturday night. Wasn't safe. Voodoo provided me safety. ATR provided me community. ATR gave me to rebuild what I thought had been lost or taken from us. And that's what I try and present, build, and bring for you here every single day. I'm building a virtual Elay, a virtual house, a virtual community, a virtual temple space of committed, authentic practitioners. So this personal for us, this personal. It's people that's doing wicked magic. And you all hear me preach against wicked magic every day. It's people working wicked magic on you now, Voodoo. I'm on you, Boo Boo, because of what you said. Because of what you said. And how you presented your energy. Nobody like a bully. Nobody. Nobody. Especially when it comes to spirituality and religion. Nobody does. Nobody. I would have much rather been a facilitator of communication, Kiona. I would have much rather been a facilitator of the healing, but I'm not given that opportunity. I'm not given that opportunity. Are you with me?
Yeah. No, I'm totally with you. The phone was a little bit choppy, and so I apologize for the delay. That's messed up. Like, how can you be rejected 3 times? Just from the look, three things working against you that will completely ostracize you. You're not welcome in most places where you go. You have to be flamboyant. You have to constantly be turned on, constantly be in showtime mode. And then you have the nerve to judge what you don't understand. You shouldn't have said anything. It's not worth it.
That part.
Because it's people that took offense to that.
Yeah,
that
part.
To the fact that that the law that you spoke against saved their life, saved their children's life, and you have the nerve to sit there. And then on top of that, you called out the devil. Didn't Christians not teach you about them devils?
And them devils ain't got
So
nothing
you
to do with
called out
Orisha.
more than one energy.
And them devils ain't got nothing to do with Orisha. Those devils ain't got nothing to do with voodoo. You know, and again, you might be well justified in that. I don't know the girl personally. Still don't know her, still ain't ran into her, still don't really have a clue, you know, who this girl is. But you took it a whole nother level. Just like we can't now in this politically correct weather say racially inappropriate things about each other. We can't say what gender and sexually inappropriate titles and pronouns now for each other. You know, we just go on this Title VII, this acknowledgement, you know, that the Civil Rights Act indeed did include all Black people lives matter, all Black lives matter, absolutely included that. But now you come for what's most white supremacist about this culture, and that's religion. That's religion. You can't say I'm pro-Black, I'm pro-African, I'm trying to get in touch with myself, I'm trying to get back to the root of things and stay in that church house, under that church instruction.
And the people that was clapping, and the people who were clapping, they're gonna be held responsible for that too. They were laughing. So what the old people say, the same thing make you laugh, make you cry. If you don't understand it, don't touch it. Don't speak on it. Don't judge it. And for sure, don't be disrespectful.
Oh no, because I
Disrespect is
can't.
not tolerated, nor is it disregarded.
Yeah, I can't pull you back from that. The last person who violated Orisha on my watch, we all know, was dead within a matter of days. Within a matter of days, just for removing liquor from her shrine, just from fooling with her pot, just from stealing some of her weaponry. Okay, was dead within a week. I don't brag about it. I don't share the story a lot. As many of you here on the ground locally know this story and have heard this story told. Yeah, I got bodies. I got bodies on me, Kiana. I got bodies on me. But often it is a result not because somebody crossed me, but they crossed spirit. They crossed Loa.
You have to
They crossed Orisha.
because of who you are and who you're called to
They
be.
crossed ancestors.
These energies are very powerful, and they know they created you to be able to represent them and invoke them and be them in this realm. This is a way for life for us. We don't do this for play. And I'm not saying to the ones that are here because y'all are family, y'all are part of the tribe, but I'm saying for the people that are sitting back mom and speculating and trying to do self-initiation. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. So y'all can cancel Christmas. Y'all can cancel that. Y'all can quit. There's no such thing.
And that alone is enough.
There's no such thing.
That is alone is enough to stir up the ire, if you will, of Oshun. That's why I describe it as, you know, you all are fondling her. You all are molesting her. You all are borrowing her and grabbing her by the coochie and mushing her ass and squeezing her titty. And you don't know her. You don't know her like that. You haven't been properly introduced to her. You don't know her name. You've gone through no ceremony of marriage to her. You have no access to her any more than some nasty man would have access to your daughter. But you all appropriate her like that. You all appropriate Frida like that. You all molest Yemaya like that. And you molest Oya like that. And the spirit of Orisha, the power of Orisha, the title of this show is nature. It's nature. Who and what can defeat water? Not even stone can defeat water. Not even a mountain can defeat water.
Nope.
So who would challenge?
Do they not know that when the magical book talks about when God cursed the earth, he separated land from water? Do they not know that?
Oshun was there.
Do they not know that?
Oshun was there. In the first 17 Orisha that were sent down to earth to create only one of them was female, and that was Oshun. And that was Oshun.
60 seconds.
So without the waters, there'd be no life. It is the very elixir of life. It is the philosopher's stone. So how do you, whew. Listen, y'all gonna have to catch
We're all
me.
about community. We don't do things on our own on this path. That's another thing people need to stop with this self-initiation. We don't do things separately. We are a tribe. We do things together. When one eats, we all eat. When one makes it, we all make it. So you have your godparents that you look up to who are taking the time out. Don't try to judge them because they may, still have other things that they like to do.
Humanity.
Have sex.
Humanity.
Think about what they're teaching. Humanity. Think about what they're teaching you. Think about your path and what you're called to do and how you can help humanity. Well, we don't do things separately on this path. We are a family. We are a tribe. We all help each other. And we show up a certain way. When we come into ceremony, we can't show up any kind of way. We can't show up any kind of way.
Oshun has blessed you.
A certain way.
Oshun has blessed you. Oshun has gifted you. But you would deny her? You would bastardize her? You would disrespect her?
Never.
Listen, y'all gonna have to catch me on Patreon. I can't do this anymore. I can't do the 2-hour, 3-hour shows. It's draining. It's too much. My godchildren are not happy. They feel like y'all taking whole chunks out of my day. So, I've been talking to the ancestors. I've been talking to the elders. I'm going to do about an hour worth of show every day. And then y'all going to have to catch the rest on Patreon. What you think about that, Kiana?
I totally agree with it. And I'm going to get my membership set up because I hadn't. But I encourage everyone to get your membership because we're going over there. And also there will be videos that you will be able to use, to help you along your journey. But just like we respect this our calling. This is not something that we are asked to do. This is not something that we choose to do. This is our birthright. This is why we were created. Each and every one of you that are on here that are part of our tribe, this is our calling. And we cannot allow anyone to disrespect our culture because we will rob from it. When you go to the black churches represent APR. But in ignorance, in thievery, it was taken from us. So we're calling it Hinduism. We're calling it a Catholic church. We're calling it. That's not what that is. Because how many Catholic churches have you gone to? And I'm not trying to get too far off the topic, but how many Catholic churches have you gone to and you actually saw possession of the spirit? How many Catholic churches have you gone to and you've heard the praise and worship group get in and usher a spirit in and usher it down? Oh wait.
Yeah, you mixing some things up for me. Okay. And that's all right. A queen is entitled to her opinion, and your opinion is well justified. So this isn't a and or scenario. But for me, the church represents white supremacy. Just like it does for many of you who are watching me right now. When you get to the basis of what's your problem with the church. And if you say you ain't got none, so why are you not there? Well, why aren't you supporting it with your tithes and your offerings? So I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the ones who are straddling the fence. I'm talking to the ones who are riding the Orisha romance. I'm talking to the ones who are dibbling and dabbling. I'm talking to the ones that would otherwise come and have expert professional consultation and divination, but then run back and support what's indeedly white supremacist at its very foundation. I don't want to hear about how black your church is. I don't want to hear about how many, I don't want to hear about African spiritualism right now. Not right now. Not in the course of this topic. So for me, it represented bondage. For me, it represented imprisonment. For me, it represented judgment. You know, for me, it represented abomination. And I found salvation in ATR. I found a home in ATR. So I'm quick to come for any, oh my goodness, any public figure that has a platform that big, that great, who would then add just one more nasty, racist, shitty brick on that house of white supremacy that keeps many of our people bound even to this day. See, I'm not going to call your name out. Hold on. Let me get this out. Let me get this out.
So hard,
please, girl, you're going to make me mute you.
It was said from
just let me get this out, because I'm dealing with other celebrities right now. I'm dealing with other leaders right now. I'm dealing with other people right now who hold high position, who hold high place in our culture, in our society, in our world. But you respect the ancestors enough to get divination. But you respect the ancestors enough to get consultation. But you respect the ancestors enough to come to me when it might be dangerous. Why does voodoo always have to be presented to you as dangerous? Why do we always have to acknowledge the prediction of death or the projection of death? Now, many of you counting the days. You counting the days for that. But we're not willing to represent and respect this tradition 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Much like Kiona just described, this is my life. More than my livelihood, this is my life. If it weren't for voodoo, what would I be doing? I have no idea what I would be doing if it weren't for voodoo. Acting ain't my love. Acting is something that I can do well, but it's not my passion. My passion is ATR. My passion is saving us by way of the head, by way of the mind, by way of the consciousness. When that is healed, it don't matter what your religion is. When that is healed, it don't matter what your political affiliation is. But as long as we sick, we all sick. As long as you sick, we all sick. And we can easily point to demonstrate in the culture of real sick people with varying levels of success. That's rewarded in the West. There's a place for that in the West. Sometimes we call it coin and buffooning. Sometimes there's a place for that, but you have an opportunity now to make a difference and part of the healing. But when I think, Kiona, that Title VII, and now we're going to recognize all Black lives matter. All Black lives matter. But then we return right back to the God of the oppressor, the religion of the oppressor, the mindset of the oppressor. And there's a thing. What done in the world, they go to dissect and remove your culture, your language, your tradition, and then put a church up there. What happens to the neighborhood around that? What's the poverty level, the income level of the people who live around these churches, who live in these communities, who live in these neighborhoods? How does that work? And where are these temples right now when we need them the most? To address the mental health, to address the emotional stress, to address the PTSD, to address all the civil rights era revolutionary energy that is now present on the street at the visceral level. It's been too quiet coming from that demographic.
They're there passing the collection plate. They're there charging people for counseling. They're right there. They're there, and they want you to drop something in the collection plate, and they charge you. I never forget when I went to church and I was really dealing with something, and someone said, you need to seek Christian counsel. You a Christian, you need to seek Christian counsel. They charged me $55 for that session because I was a member, and so I got a discount. And what I confided and said to her had something to do with someone that was on the board that had a family. And they got back to that person, Bishop set it down. And people were looking at me strange, and somebody came and told me. If the counselor went back and said something, and the bishop honored the so much that he set the armor bearer down. And I was like, I'm proud that you just divulged what I paid for in the session to the church. They're there. They are there. Gossiping, not representing the magical book in no kind of way, because they feel like they can spread it and do whatever and wear a long skirt. Long skirts come up too.
Just as fast, and
be about it.
Just as fast, if not faster, than the short skirt. I also like to acknowledge Trevor Chauncey's comment. Church is another method of worshiping the European Greek god Zeus. And I agree with that. When we dissect church, not religion, but church in particularly, we find world culture, world tradition, what they themselves would call paganism, embedded at the root of almost every practice, every tradition. I had a friendly family / Christian tell me just recently that, they were crucified saviors before the Christ. Yes. There was virgin birth before Mary. Yes. So why now then do we buy into King James Version of things? I just don't get that. And at a deeper level, for me, Trevor, it represents white supremacy. It represents keeping the God of white supremacy as the supreme leader. Even if it means we have to loosen up a little bit. Even if it means we have to be a little friendly with the Arabs over here and Asians over here and with the South America, but as long as we get the world to acknowledge our God, standard of what God is, I'm not that hopeful that this moment is going to continue at the momentum that it is right now, and that people are going to be willing to do that work. And it's going to require more than you allowing me to present the avatar that I choose, to live the lifestyle that God might have had intended for me. But it's also going to allow you to allow me my religion. It's also going to afford you to allow me my connection to God and my connection to spirit. And we're still seeing a decline. We're still seeing a decline in America as it relates to world religions and traditions. It's a very different landscape in Africa. It's a very different landscape. Many of you know I check this first thing every morning, and it's amazing how some tabs with all Africa are almost entirely religious, almost entirely. And they go from Kenya to the next country, to Angola, to the next country, and it's all church news. It's all religion. And it shows up in a way that the American mindset has been conditioned for the lie, separation of church and state. I say it's a lie because we know the separation of church and state has never really existed. Not really. It's something we say, but then behind the scenes, in God we trust is on the money. So I see it as when I reduce it to its lowest common denominator, it's an extension, a direct extension of white supremacy and racism for me. That which would seek to not have me to live. That which would seek to not have me breathe. That which would seek to not allow me my freedoms. That which believes that somehow we are not as human as others. So our overall sense of well-being is not counted. Our overall sense of joy and satisfaction in life and liberties is not often counted. And so, Kiona, I see that in the world that you and Hoodoo occultism drafted on a religion is going to be there. Not if ATR is not a central part of the foundation of that separated community. I wouldn't be able to exist there. I'm going to wrap it up soon and invite you to join me on Patreon.
Well, you know I can't do it because listen, I know everybody's gonna come over. You know, Neil Boko, Chef Bougie, Dee Dee Hammond, everybody become to see. Everybody's gonna come over because we have a tribe. This is our calling. We have to do this, but we have to be respected. And our ancestors, our Luau, they cannot be disrespected by anybody. I don't care what anybody else says about someone. That's between you and that person. The moment that you started using your mouth reckless, because I'm like, does she not know that if it would have been one of us that was really, really about that life, it would have been a whole fight in there? It would have been furniture moving because you can't do that.
Well, I think that, you know, that's both sides. Whether you're the Christian or the non-Christian, that's both sides. They're both responsible, in my opinion, in that regard. There's just certain places that you don't go as grown folks. Once you get past 35, it's just certain places that you don't go. You know, you don't go for people's mama. You don't go for people's religion. Nowadays, we don't just, you know, try and stir up people's politics, you know, because that can be volatile. But to have a platform and a platform of value that you know and that you actively manipulate to draw attention to and then use it as an opportunity to denigrate ATR, that's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. It's a route out there for that.
A dash of cayenne to the roof. Gonna put on my green grease. Boil a gumbo, hot and steady. Don't keep it ready. Don't breathe at that old cemetery. Down on Sleep on where she's buried.